Hey sailors! Welcome back to our channel. Today we will discover the world of sailing, a sport that unites millions of people all over the world. You will learn how sailing sport differs from pleasure boating, what is the main idea of sailing sport, and many other related facts. Let's start. Sailing as a sport is entirely distinct from recreational sailing. When engaged in competitive sailing, the goal is to ensure perfection in every aspect, from sail trimming and team's positioning in the boat, to route planning and tactics. This precision is essential for achieving the best speed and performance on the water. The equipment is very significant. While pleasure boating allows for a relaxed ride even with worn-out sails or ropes, competitive sailing demands the best equipment. In the world of sailing sport, having the best possible gear is crucial, as older equipment tends to lose its functionality. Due to the stretching and loss of shape in old sails, the boat's performance is reduced. Although, there is a saying that the real master of sailing will win the race even with the oldest boat in the fleet. Another difference is the intensity. In sport-style sailing, it's common to push limits and take risks that otherwise won't be done. Sailing competitions, often referred to as regattas, are events where sailboats participate in organized races. These regattas can vary widely in terms of scale, from local club events to large international competitions. Firstly, there are many types of sailing competitions. The basic ones are races between identical boats. Their goal is to navigate to the finish line using a given track as quickly as possible. To win, they should feel the wind and boat, make the right decisions, and adjust the boat's trim and course continuously. This format is featured in the Olympic Games, making it popular worldwide. However, on yachts they typically need to cover long distances, such as island-to-island journeys, crossing seas. That may take hours or even days. Due to variations in sailboats' parameters, including size and the type of the sails, a coefficient system is invented to ensure fair results. In competitions, sailors are not only required to follow standard safety regulations but also specific sailing competition rules to regulate their actions. It's interesting that some maneuvers considered valid in one sailing class are deemed illegal in another. All these formats share a similar idea. Everyone wants to be the first to finish. To achieve the best performance, appropriate training is very important. As mentioned before, one aspect is boat handling skills, but another, sometimes forgotten factor, communication quality in the team. Team members need to collaborate effectively because every adjustable part on a sailboat influences the others. A word regatta comes from the Venetian word regattare, meaning to compete. It first referred to gondola races in Venice in the 16th century. Today, it applies to boat races of all types. Sailing competitions happen all over the world. The biggest global event is Italy's Regatta Barcolana. In 2019, it set a record with 2,689 sailboats and over 16,000 participants. For the top-tier elite crews, there are several highly prestigious races. The most well-known is the Volvo Ocean Race. The Volvo Ocean Race occurs every 3 years with the participation of only 5 to 10 teams due to rough conditions. The competition typically starts in Europe in October and lasts 9 months. The longest race in Volvo Ocean Race history was in 2017, covering 45,000 nautical miles and including 10 legs. Another form is single-handed sailing. The biggest battle in offshore sailing for solo athletes is the Vendee Globe, a non-stop round-the-world yacht race. This race was first held in France in 1989. The primary rule in the Vendee Globe competition is that only one person is allowed on board. However, every captain is supported by a shore team. Widely recognized as one of the most challenging sailing races globally, the Vendee Globe presents technical, physical, and mental difficulties. To qualify for the race, participants must show prior racing experience, having completed either a single-handed transocean race or a previous Vendee Globe. Additionally, due to its competitive nature, participants need an advanced boat, equipped with high-performance navigation and communication devices. In recent years, the organizers of the Vendee Globe have offered the opportunity to virtually sail the race. The game is designed to enhance tactical thinking and improve route planning. Virtual regatta simulates real meteorological conditions for each race, requiring players to choose the optimal sail settings and heading accordingly. In the 2020 online vendee globe started 1,069,068 skippers, but only less than a half crossed the finish line. An interesting form of competition is team racing. The idea behind team racing is to finish the race with fewer points than the opposing team. The boat that finishes first scores 1 point, the second scores 2 points, and so on. The points scored by the boats in each team are added together. All teams have equal equipment, and each team comprises 2 to 6 members, depending on the competition. The races are very short, approximately 10 minutes, and they are completely different from traditional ones. Not only have several rules changed, for example, instead of a 3 boat length, the zone, or specific area around the mark, is only 2 boat length, but also the penalty system is slightly different. While in the classical format, in case of an incident, umpires make decisions on shore, in team racing, protest considerations happen on the spot. If you believe you have broken a rule, you can exonerate yourself with a 360-degree spin. If an umpire has to make a decision against you, it requires a 720-degree spin. The most popular boats for team racing are one-design dinghies or small keelboats. Typically, the boats are provided by organizers, because teams must mutually change them after each start. How can we determine who the best sailor is when there are numerous sailing classes, styles, competitions, and athletes of all ages? It's a tricky question, as everyone has their own opinion on what achievements make someone the best sailor. To inspire and motivate, the official World Sailing Organization established the award, World Sailor of the Year, also known as the Rolex World Sailor of the Year. This award is presented to one male and one female winner every year. To help the jury name the winner, there is always public voting as well. For this award you can nominate anyone who has demonstrated outstanding results and achievements. The youngest person ever to win this prize was the Italian teenager Marco Gradoni in 2019. At the time, he was only 15 years old and earned the title due to his success in the Optimist class, where he secured 3 consecutive World Championship titles, becoming the first sailor to achieve this remarkable result. Cheating in sailing sport is not rare. There are numerous ways to violate the rules, and at times, it can be challenging to ensure the honesty of sailors or teams. Consequently, various solutions are used to regulate the entire process. Typically, before races, all boats undergo inspection to verify that their equipment complies with class rules. Manipulating the technical aspects is the most common method to enhance performance. Then, of course, comes the actions on the water. During races, the racing rules of sailing and class rules are always in effect. To guarantee fair competition, a jury is in place to observe each boat, while in offshore racing they are tracked by GPS devices, and in some situations even with cameras. If a participant is found making invalid movements, they may receive penalties, or in the worst case, face disqualification. Somehow in society, there is a stereotype that sailing as a sport is not taken very seriously and is more associated with leisure activities. In reality, sailors are surprisingly versatile. They need to possess qualities ranging from good physical condition to knowledge about navigation, meteorology, and basic first aid skills. Imagine those single-handed sailors crossing the oceans. They are entirely on their own. They cook for themselves, handle the vessel, and if needed, they might have to repair electronics or fix other technical issues. Sailors have to be strong enough to pull the ropes, lift heavy items such as sails or anchors, and often they have no choice but to endure extremely cold, rainy, or hot weather. Now that you've got an insight into the world of sports sailing, remember, it's not the only way to enjoy the great outdoors at sea. For different boating experiences, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our previous videos. And to validate and track your sea time, visit skippercheck.net. Share in the comments your sport-related sailing stories and don't forget to give a like. See you in the next video.